It's Cocheran.
And we are live. I'd like to
Yep.
welcome everybody to the Let's Talk Fishing podcast. It's a video podcast. My name is James. I'm going to be your host for this evening. Tonight, I have a bait maker, a soft plastics maker by the name of Chris Cocheran from Tail Chaser Baits. How you doing tonight, Chris?
Pretty good, Jay. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. You know, I was really excited. Look at that. We already got people coming on. I got Chris on, and already people are here. Man, if you guys want to ask a question, please. I have a comment section here. Go ahead and ask, and I will relay that question to Chris. So, Chris, tell me about Tail Chaser Baits.
Well, it started out as just a thought, which is most companies, businesses, and anything else. I've been stationed down here in Louisiana in Belle Chase for 19 years now with the Navy.
Nice.
And I did 10 years active duty, got out, started a welding business. Got out into the reserves, started a welding business, got reactivated for another 3 years, which took me to 15 years total. And then by that point, you know, military becomes, once you get so far in military, it becomes a lot of politics. So, so I told them, you know what, if y'all let me, I'd like to go back to the reserves, continue on with my business journeys, you know, just finish out my retirement that way. We're at 19 and a half, going to 22, and then I'm going to retire. But the bait journey started about 4 years ago. I've always had boats while down here. You know, I've always fished while down here. But I didn't really get serious into it until I got into kayak fishing.
Oh, yeah.
Kayak fishing just offers something completely different than being in a boat. I can go places. Yeah, I can go places that you'll never even see a boat. So once I started kayak fishing, then it became tournament fishing. My 2020 season was 35 tournaments, 3 championships, and, you know, came along with the sponsors and, you know, this, that, and the other.
25 tournaments. That's like every weekend.
Yeah, pretty much. It was almost every single weekend. I fished 3 different tournament series. One was the Bayou Kayak Coast, Bayou Coast Kayak Fishing Club. Then I fished the KBF Redfish series, and then I fished the Yak Bass and Bass series. Coming up on the end of the year, I had my soft plastic sponsors, and they're all great sponsors. My thing was I didn't want to sponsor big box store sponsor. I wanted a guy that was still making the baits himself, somebody that could call on a cell phone and be like, hey, what do we think about this color? Can we do this with the bait? Can we do that with the bait? And after about a year and a half, I was, you know, doing my own research, looking into it, you know, started watching videos, reading articles, you know, seeing what really goes into all of this, minus how much money really goes into this. And at the end of my 2020 season, after I fished my last championship, I called up my sponsors. And I said, hey, you know what? It's time for me to release Tail Chaser Baits. You know, appreciate all the support. Y'all been great. And they all say, you know, good luck. Go get it. Go get it while it's there.
They were happy you were honest with them. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's the best thing. When you're doing business, that's the best thing, is to be upfront. Tell people what you think. Tell people what you're going to do. Don't try to slide behind their back and everything like that, because realistically, the bait business is a cutthroat business. I mean, it's ruthless. It really is. You can get your small group of people that you can talk to about stuff and trust them that they're not going to, you know, backdoor you and stuff like that. But if anybody can try to upper hand you by taking something and releasing it before you can get it released, they're going to do it. they're going to do it.
Well, if you lose your integrity, you've lost everything.
Right.
You know.
And so that's what we did last November around Thanksgiving, I think, is when I made my first post. And it was slow. I mean, releasing a bait company, you know, at the beginning of winter. Probably wasn't the best choice. But it gave me enough time to kind of get on Facebook, get on Instagram, and kind of push the brand during the downtime of winter to kind of start ramping things up for the springtime.
We have our first question here. It's by a guy who calls himself Cajun Rob. He said, "What kayak are you using?"
PA-14.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm one of these guys. I don't like buying anything new.
Yeah.
So I actually bought my PA-14 from a Hobie sponsored guy after he fished it for one tournament season, and then I bought it for, you know, $3,000 compared to the $5,000 sticker price that's on them nowadays.
Also, Cajun Rob wants to know if you use a different kayak for saltwater and freshwater.
No, I use that Hobie PA-14. I use it in everything. I mean, most of my fishing is in the marsh. We go to Florida. The family's got a condo in Florida, Navarre, right there by Pensacola.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, Navarre is the #1 offshore fishing destination for kayaks. They got miles of reefs, artificial reefs that they built right off of Navarre.
Nice.
And I mean, they're only 2 miles offshore. So you pedal out 2 miles offshore and you're catching red snapper in, 50, 60 foot of water.
And
they've been killing tuna.
Then, right?
Huh?
And you can still see the shore?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. I've never been offshore with a kayak.
Normally we try to fare for decent weather, decent waters. I mean, 2 years ago I went out, it was a little sketchy. We had a hurricane coming into the Gulf right below Key West, and I still went out there with the 5-6 foot swells. Caught my snapper and then flipped my kayak on the way back in. But no, I mean, it's a solid kayak. Right now, Navarre, they're catching tuna every single morning. They're limiting out on tuna right now.
That would be a Cajun boat ride, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's fun. It's on my YouTube channel. The camera stayed rolling until I flipped. But no, that's what got it going. That's what got it rolling, was just being in the industry and being around the people, and seeing you see the good people with the camaraderie and stuff. Then you see, like everything, there's a good side and a bad side to everything.
Oh, absolutely.
But there's nothing. Who would ever thought, I'm about to turn 39. Who would ever thought a 39-year-old man wants to come out and play with colored dyes and glitter,
Actually, a lot of them anymore.
Right. Well,
lots of them, lots of guys, man. It's a cool thing to do anymore, is to shoot plastics.
Well, it keeps your mind rolling on what can you do different. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of people out there that want to watch what everybody else is doing, and then they just copy it and they post it, and then this, that, and other. But to be the person that's putting out a lot of these colors that a lot of people haven't seen, and then getting the response from customers and followers on social media and all that stuff, and the support from the social media. I mean, it's great. I can't explain it, seeing the people catching the fish, seeing the people using the baits, and the response from the customers and everything that we've had in the last year has been great.
So do you have some of these baits you can show us?
Yeah, we have a few things. Actually, one of the things that we just started doing this year is we're going back. The business started with these 3 molds. That was it. These are just an open pour. You take your cup of plastic and you pour your bait. And so what we're going back to is just a swim bait, simple bait. So what we're doing this year is we're offering, because now we got 80 something molds in the shop here, and everything, 99% of everything we do is all injection.
Okay.
But what we're doing this year is we're going back and we're doing specialty baits.
Look at that.
That's
How
a
long is that thing?
6-inch swim bait.
Wow.
It's You can't see it with the lighting, but this belly has a violet highlight in it. So when the light hits it a certain way, it turns violet.
I thought
But
maybe it had a slit in it.
oh, it
But
does.
that's a highlight. Oh, it does have a slit. Oh, nice.
I can pour these either with the solid body, or I can pour them. So this one's a hook slot.
Yeah.
Or I could pour it with a solid body and then just trim the piece of plastic off where the hook slot, because when they go in the mold, this piece will go in the mold, and that's what creates the hook slot.
Okay.
And then you just pull it out. So this year we're doing a monthly pour. At the beginning of every month, we're going to do a custom color for the 6-inch and the 4-inch open pour molds. So that's going to be something that we're doing different this year. And people are buying them up like hotcakes.
I mean, a 6-inch swim bait, that's nice, man.
Yeah. The action on these, I mean, they move. I mean, when you sit here, when you get back in the marsh and you see that mullet, it's kind of like his whole body just kind of rolls while he's swimming. That's exactly what this big 6-inch swim bait does. It just kind of, that tail action just creates kind of like that Cadillac cruising down the,
and then they
just
swim.
cruising down the water.
And they swim underneath the surface too. So
yeah,
6 of them all there make a wake. It's really
right.
If somebody could develop an umbrella rig for
what, that big
for mullet looking things.
Yeah,
it'd be. But those things are hard to cast, anyways.
Yeah, but I mean, we got all kinds of stuff. So that's the big 6-inch, and that's the 4-inch for the hand pours. Those are just going to be each month. For the rest of this year, each month we're going to have a different color scheme just for that month, and then once that month's over, we're going to pour a new color scheme for the next month, kind of like a custom ordeal. But other than that, we pour. Let me find him. I got so many baits in here. So we pour 2 different size. We inject 2 different size swim baits, a 4-inch and a 3-inch swim bait. My hands are backwards compared to my other live feed. So I want to move my hands a different way, but
lots of people have problems with this. They do.
Yeah. And then our flukes.
Oh, nice. Look at that color, man.
These right here, pink. I drag these a lot in the wintertime when the fish are down here in the south. Huh?
You drag those on the bottom?
I drag them on the bottom. Because what happens is when I rig this up and I start dragging it on the bottom, that tail is just doing this like a feeding bait fish on the bottom. And down in Southeast Louisiana, once it hits 50 degrees and it starts pushing all the water out of the marsh, all the fish are schooled up in deep,
Redfish Jubilee.
Yeah, what we call deep water, 6 to 10 feet.
6 to 10 feet.
I mean, you throw this on a jig head and it just bounces. So I'll drag these on the bottom and just let that tail, tail do the work.
I would put that on a football head jig.
Hey, we got those too.
And just in fact, that's how I caught my biggest redfish ever. A thing just that color, man, that pink.
Yeah.
And I was flipping on the rocks out there.
Right.
Oh, geez, out there by Lake Charles, Lake Calcasieu.
Yep, Calcasieu, yep.
I was with Tommy Adams. He was a guide, and he told us to fish deep. And I said, no, take me to the rocks. Take me to the rocks. Fish like rocks. And he's like, yeah, you're right. So my wife can fish out of the back of the boat. I'll fish out of the front. She can fish deep water.
Well,
I want to feel that fish hit.
Right. Well, it's funny because during the summer, when I get back in the marsh, and I'm fishing, a foot, maybe 2 foot of water, that's all I'm throwing is football jig.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
And we hand tie that. We do all of our own lead work. We do all of our own painting. And these are all hand tied jigs. These are not rubber band jigs. These are literally sit there and hand tying all these jigs.
You can't even call that. That's not a skirt then. I mean, that's actually a.
Wow. No, it's a silicone skirt.
But that's
it's not like your old rubber skirts.
Yeah, that you can just pull them off.
Right. These
You're not
are
going to pull that thing off if you sat there.
Yeah, you can't. It's not going to come apart, and it's not like a rubber band jig where your rubber band dry rots, being on your hook and out in the sun and everything like that. So we got a full line. Well, we're not getting crazy with the hand tied jigs. We're going to do total like 10 colors of football jigs. We're going to do 10 colors of swim jigs. I mean, right here's one of our swim jigs right here.
Ooh. And what size of footballs and swims are you going to have?
We have everything from now you gotta get me remembering what I have. Give me 1 second. So I got all these molds all over the place. So our swim jigs are all 1/2, 3/8, and 1/4.
Yeah, that covers it. And
then our football jigs, I got so many molds in here. Our football jigs are all 1/4, 3/8, 1/2, and 3/4.
Ooh, you got some small ones all the way up to the big ones. That's cool.
So we have those. We got the skirted jigs, and they're all hand tied. Like I said, they're not gonna fall apart. The rubber's not gonna rot out. 4 months into your season, stuff like that.
When a bass short strikes it, it's not gonna pull off your skirt.
Right. I mean,
I've had that happen. Yeah.
They're tied on there. They're tied on there, and they're all of our when we hand tie them, it's a nylon thread, and then it's all glued on. Your knots are all glued on with a UV glue. So nice. You put your little dab of glue on there, and you hit it with a UV light, and it turns into like hard epoxy instantly. Oh. So we got those. Here's another one of them. It's a cool color. A lot of people have been picking up this color, getting ready for the spring season.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
So we got those.
Do you make jig trailers as well?
We have plastics for trailers. I know some people use swim baits on them. I use my crawls. This is the color we're shooting tonight. We're shooting cotton candy tonight. Once we get off this live, then we'll go live again. But
ooh,
so this color, that's cotton candy right there.
All right.
We're shooting that tonight. Good old Louisiana. We got the Houdat.
The Houdat.
The Houdat. You can't be. It's funny because everybody always asks, "What's your favorite color? What's your favorite color?" Being that I redfish, blue crab's my favorite color.
Okay. I
throw
whichever one I caught a fish on just now. Oh yeah, look at that. Is that blue crab?
That's our blue crab color.
So you got a creature bait, huh?
Yeah, it's a brush hog.
Yeah.
We got it in brush hog. I fish them. I always fish our blue crab. I fish it with the crawfish on a black and blue football jig. And they love it. The redfish love them. But I mean, let me see. I got a couple new colors in here. I'm trying to show. Some baits show colors better than others.
Sure. Ooh,
so
look at that.
So that's our crawl. This is called Smushberry.
That's pretty right there, man.
And then when you look at it in the actual hog, you can see the two different, because it's black with the purple on one side, a little bit of purple, then it's purple with the purple flake on the other side. Trying to get the light from there. We go. Trying to keep the glare off of it so you can see the colors. And then like this color, a lot of people like this color. It's called Zombie. This black.
Zombie.
When we did this one, we were playing around with the colors to where the black, like you're looking at here, it looks like it's solid black, right? But when you turn it, it's translucent, and you can start seeing that green through it.
That looks like a good color for a frog bait.
That's a lot of people buy that in a frog color. I mean, we have frogs. We have basically about everything you can think of. We got 6-inch 6-inch lizards. We're getting ready to get 4-inch lizards. We have the 6-inch and 4-inch hogs. We have 7-inch ribbon tails. We have 10-inch ribbon tails. We
10-inch
have
ribbon tails. 10-inch ribbon tails. That's a
Hey,
big.
those Texas guys, they buy them by the Ziploc bagfuls.
They go nuts over that stuff. Throwing the stump fields of Rayburn.
Yep. They fished some Sam Rayburn. I mean, that's a 10-inch right there. They're fishing those nonstop. We have creature baits. We have frogs. This is another color. It might be hard to see. It is 2 different colors.
Oh, that's a ribbit frog type thing.
Yep. We're actually partnering up with a bait guy up in what is it? I think he's in Illinois. Don't quote me on that.
That's where I'm from.
He's called Hidden Oasis.
Okay.
And he does all kinds of lead work, jigs, spinner baits, buzz baits. So he's going into stores with buzz baits, and we're packaging these up with his buzz baits.
There you go.
So you'll get two frogs on a buzz bait. I think he's putting them in stores for $9.99. So we got the frogs. Like I said, we got lizards. We got the 7-inch trick worms.
Ooh, nice 7-inch trick worms.
7-inch trick worms. We got the finesse worms. We got 6-inch finesse worms. And then we also have something a little bit different. It's a 5.5-inch paddle tail worm. So you can take this worm. That. Yeah. You can take this worm and you can swim it like a swim bait. You can bounce it off the bottom. Or what a lot of people have been seeming to do lately, because a lot of people will fish Neds, is they'll pinch it off. They'll pinch it off about right here. And then they'll throw that on a Ned hook.
That'll work.
And just bounce it and let that paddle tail just bounce around, in the water column.
Yeah.
But they've been doing that with them lately. But yeah, I mean, like I said, we're just trying to change things up, make things different.
There's something that's different.
There's something different. Something different. We offer 2 different styles of shrimp.
That last color you showed there, I'd love to throw that on a paddle tail down in the marsh.
Yeah, right there, this color right here has been really popular in Florida. Yes. Florida has been buying this color up a lot. You get that crystal clear water, and you just throw in baits out there that just shine and shimmer. Florida's been picking those up quite a bit. Now we offer 2 different things. You always see your traditional, shrimp, right?
Yes.
I always see your traditional paddle tail shrimp. Well, we got your curly tail.
Wow.
So you got a curly tail that gives you a little bit smaller profile. So if you're not wanting to throw our grub, then you can throw something smaller. This right here, if the weather is where I like, because I don't fish a cork ball much. Weather conditions got to be pretty much garbage for me to fish a cork.
Yes.
But when I fish a cork, I'm throwing this on the cork, because every time it pops up, you got that tail just fluttering down. But that right there, that's been a hot one this past year, because it's something different. It's something that people have never seen before, something people have never fished with before, and that's kind of going back to what we were talking about, trying to stay ahead of the game, stay ahead of the color game, the color schemes and stuff like that. We're not trying to make we call this marsh sunrise. We're not trying to make the same colors as everybody else. Not trying to do the same thing. I'm looking around to see what all I have in here, because since I am in the shop, I got stuff hanging up everywhere. We also offer, this is a Louisiana color right here.
Oh yeah,
marsh chicken. Marsh chicken with the glow bellies.
Marsh chicken.
We also do tubes, 4-inch tubes. For all those smallmouth guys, we got a whole line of tube colors.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
All the skirted tubes. Got the pom-pom on there. We dust them in salt because when we run them through the machine to cut the tails on them, we got to put a little bit of oil on it so that way the rubber doesn't get stuck up in the machine. And then we just toss them in a little bit of salt coating, a bait salt. That way it soaks up that moisture and keeps the tails all fluffy. Other things we do, the website, we offer things that, like, you want crappie baits. You know, you usually go buy the little pack that has 10 crappie baits or whatever in it. Or you can buy a combo pack. I think Academy has a combo pack of crappie baits for $15-20, and you get, I don't know what, 20 baits and a couple jigs in it. So we teamed up with Hidden Oasis on that one also. He's sending us all the little crappie jigs, and we're doing Plano boxes. Our crappie boxes, our slab boxes, come with 150 baits. 150 baits, 3 different profiles, and an assortment of colors. And then they come with 9 jigs, all hand painted and everything by Hidden over there. And it's $34.
150 jigs, 150 jig tails with 9 jigs for $34. And a Plano box.
And a Plano box. Nobody's doing it. Nobody's doing anything like that. And in those boxes, I'm grabbing it because I'm going to show y'all up here real quick. I'm in the shop. Everything you see up here, these are all crappie baits. Every one of those is all crappie baits. I mean, there's a ton of them. I probably got 4,000 crappie baits hanging up right there. So we got, with our crappie baits, we have the crickets. It's not going to want to zoom. We got a little 2-inch cricket. Come on.
I saw it. That actually turned out pretty good, the way you showed that.
And then we offer, you normally have your regular stinger tail, which everybody knows the stinger tail, 2-inch stinger. Everybody knows about a 2-inch stinger.
Yep.
Well, we got the 2-inch curly grub, the curly shad. So it has a little curly tail and the little paddle on the end of it. Gives it a little bit more. So that's for all of our slab guys. We also offer the ice box. The ice box. The ice box is 180 baits, 3 different profiles, and 9 jig heads with Hidden Oasis jigs. Everything in our crappie boxes and in our slab boxes are all from veteran-owned businesses. We use Victory Hooks, which is veteran-owned. Hidden Oasis is a veteran, and I'm a veteran. So
then you're on a veteran-owned podcast right now.
Right. So for our ice boxes, it's all, we have a 3/4 inch bait, a 1-inch bait, and a 1.25 inch bait. Now these things are small. When you look at ice fishing, a pack of these little scuds, these little guys right here, a pack of these, I don't even know if I can show this. Like an 8-pack of these is $5, $6, $7. You're almost paying $1 per piece on these little things. And then we got, and that's, your store-bought stuff. Then we got the little ball tip, kind of like a little shad. And then we have what I call is the squid. They're so small. It's got a little stick bait with a little brush tail on it. So you get all those, 180 of those, 9 jigs in an assortment of colors and everything. Same thing, $34. They all come. I actually have one of the ice boxes right here. They all come in the Plano. Assortment of colors, got the Plano. You can add more stuff into it that you have at the house, whatever. These are the Planos that actually, they actually lock, not the ones that the tab wants to break off and everything.
Oh, the tab breaks. Yes, particularly if you live up north, those tabs when it gets cold, those tabs break right off.
Just snap right off. Right. Yeah. And then another thing we're doing, I don't think any other company is offering anything like this. We offer a combo pack where you can go to the website, pick any three baits you want, and it will come in an assortment of colors in that bait. What that allows you to do is, you say you live in Georgia, whatever, you want to fish a crawl, you want to fish a lizard, and you want to fish a trick worm, but you don't know what colors to get. The websites don't always show true color to what daylight shows. So you're not sure what exactly colors you need. You're not sure what season colors, because different seasons, different colors, everything like that. So our combo packs, you could pick a crawl, any bait, freshwater or saltwater, and you're going to get whatever count is the bait. Like our worms are 10 count. You'll get 10 different colors in that bag.
Wow.
Our creature baits, our LA roaches, our crawls, our tubes, stuff like that, our 8-packs. And normally most other companies are doing 6-packs on crawls, so we do 8-packs on everything. And you'll get 8 different colors of each bait. So that way you can come in, you can pick 3 of your favorite baits, get an assortment of colors, go fish, and then whatever's hot for you at that time of year or whatnot, then you can come back and pick out, okay, well, I ordered crawls and purple drink was hot. Purple drink was a good color for me. So now you can come back and order just a pack of purple drink crawls. Which purple drink is a color that most haven't seen before. Dark purple. It's got purple and blue flake in it. This has been a really popular color this year. A lot of people have fished this and caught a lot of fish on that color this year. But the combo packs, we're just trying to get it to where, a lot of times your everyday, weekend warrior type anglers that aren't on the water every single day, they get to go out twice a month or something. They're not always completely up to date with, what colors, what baits, what time of year, stuff like that. This kind of opens up the door for them to try an assortment of colors. And it's actually 50 cents cheaper per bag than if you're buying solid colors, like solid bag colors. So you're going to save $1.50 on 3 bags getting the combo pack and getting an assortment of colors compared to ordering 3 individual bags. So it's kind of an incentive and win-win.
It sure is.
But other than that,
well, if there's nothing else you'd like to show us, do you have any shout outs you'd like to do? Any thank yous to any companies, individuals, organizations, friends?
I mean, like I got my group of sponsors. We got Fishing All Out, which builds our pneumatic vices. They build we partnered up with them and created our pneumatic tube cutters. He does great work. It really works out. I mean, the vices are by far superior to anything. I got 29 molds sitting in my air vise right now. I pop a button and all the molds get clamped. So them, and then David King over with King Stank Stick, we have the option to where you can scent all your baits. You can go in and you can choose anywhere from garlic, menhaden, shrimp, mullet, crawfish, crab, night crawler, shad, sweet corn. I mean, we have a full list of scent, liquid scent. It's all natural. They do have a UV additive in it, so that way the fish can also see where that slick trail's coming from. So it's an all natural fish attractant. So that gives us an option. So we partnered up with them, and then I mean, if you're getting into it, know what you're getting into because it gets expensive, stupid quick. But we use Fishing All Out. Most of our molds, I'd say probably 80% of our molds come from Fat Guys Fishing. Fat Guys Fishing builds a really quality mold. I cannot complain whatsoever with their molds. I never have any problems with the bait shooting or anything with their stuff. But other than that, I mean, a lot of my shout outs would be competitors or past sponsors that are now competitors. But you know how it is. I mean, it's
I'd
good
like
to
to make
have
a
people.
shout out to Chad Battles because he's the one
Yep,
who introduced me.
Chad's out there. He might be in here watching.
Chad introduced me to you, so I'd like to shout out to him and say thank you.
Yeah, he's joining up on the team this year. Hopefully, we can do big things with the Redfish series this year.
Well, Chad's the guy who will get it going for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. But I mean, my family. We're complete. I shoot literally. I shoot all the baits myself. I do all the hand tying. I do everything myself.
Wow.
Hold on. I do everything in the shop myself. I do all the lead work. I do all the painting. I do all the baits. And then my wife, hats off to her. About 4 or 5 months ago, she saw how quick this was taking off, and she took over the web design. So now she does all the web updates. She does all the shipping for me.
There's a chore.
Yeah.
Taking 300 envelopes over to the post office. Yeah.
So she took that load off of me. She's actually in there right now updating order forms for the stores and stuff. And then my 17-year-old, his girlfriend, I mean, they've been together for 4 or 5 years now, but she's like, hey, can I get they're both seniors in high school, and he gets out half day and he goes to college half day. He's already got 3 of his welding certificates in college, and then he works 2 of the days a week with me out on job sites. But his girlfriend's like, hey, can I come work? Can I bag baits or something? I was like, absolutely.
Please.
I had roughly 10,000 baits waiting to be bagged, because when I shoot, I don't even have one out here, but I have totes, like the 28 quart totes.
Yeah.
And I shoot those full every night. And when I told her, I was like, yeah, I'll pay you to bag. So she comes over 3 days a week. She gets out of school half day. She comes over 3 days a week, and she does all the bagging for us. My 8-year-old daughter, she stickers all of our bags for everything. She's starting to get into the bagging, starting to understand, how to inspect the baits to make sure the baits are, don't have an air, because you'll get baits that have an occasional air bubble or a little defect or something like that. And that's just not the type of product I want to put out. I mean, a lot of these companies, when you go to box stores, it's subpar.
I have no opinion on that. No.
Yeah. Yeah. I see your opinion. I see the opinion, but I mean, that's just where I wanted to be at.
It ruins it, man. It does. I won't use a bait that has an air bubble in it, because it's not going to track right. It's not going to sink right. It's not,
Yeah. And that was kind of the aspect, being on the tournament side of things. I was like, there's got to be something better. I mean, I understand that box stores are all about volume.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter if the bait tears every time you get hung up or every time you catch a fish. It doesn't matter if the bait tears, because it's all about volume type of aspect. Being a tournament angler and being on the water, I mean, I haven't fished live or cut bait in over 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I won't touch it. But to be on the water, I don't want to be changing baits every other fish, you know? So that's kind of like one of the aspects where we got into with our whole freshwater line of lures. I got with my MLF guys, I got with my ABA guys, and we came up with a blend that is kind of that happy medium between longevity and action. So, I mean, I've had testimonies come into some of my other social media platforms and stuff saying, hey, I went and caught, 8, 9, 10 bass on one worm today, So it's kind of that grind of what we're trying to do. We're trying to make it worth the while, so you don't have to keep going back to the store.
Yeah.
But in hindsight, it might not be the consumer side of things, like, because everybody wants to sell.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'd rather put a good quality product out there and have the anglers be like, you know what? I caught 5, 6, 7, 8 fish on this bait. I'm going to continue to buy these baits because I'm going to get my money's worth out of them. I'm not here to get rich off this.
Well, you're going to get the guy. You're not going to get the guy who goes to Walmart and just picks a bag off the rack. No. You're going to get the guys who know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to look at those colors and say that's something different.
Right.
And guys like me, I've already tried. I tried those off the shelf things when I was 9 years old back in the 70s.
Right.
And I've evolved with them. As fishing progressed, so did I.
Right.
So that's what you're going to get. Chris, I really do thank you for doing such an informative podcast here.
No, thank you.
I really enjoyed this. And, I know you're a busy man. You've got, what, 4 or 5 jobs?
Yeah, to say the least. I got 4.
And, the guys who are successful in this business, they're the guys who don't sleep. They're the guys, I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I see they're on Facebook already,
Yeah. Yeah.
We're all communicating with each other at 4:30 in the morning.
Right.
Scheming how can we make this bigger? Who should I have on next?
Right.
But yeah, thank you for coming on. I appreciate your time, buddy.
No, thank you for having me.
Keep up the great work. And I'd like to thank everybody. We had a lot of people who tuned in. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to Let's Talk Fishing video podcast. And stick around. I'd like to talk to you for 2 minutes afterwards. And with that, I'm going to bid everybody a good night.